Okay, good morning, guys. I'm just peeping in. The rest of the time, you will only hear my voice because I think today I'm going to do. Oops, I need to change this. May it's way after May already. Um, I decided to do it a little bit different. I'm going to give you guys the clues, and you have to decide which words do you think fits the clue. Now, before I continue, our suffix for this week is shir. Okay, we've done shin with double S-I-O-N. We've done shin with T-I-O-N. We've done shin with just one S-I-O-N. And we're done now with that. And what I said last week is, guys, you have to practice the words of the previous weeks as well, because they need to get stuck in your brains that you don't need to wonder in future how to spell them. You don't practice spelling just for the sake of being able to write them on a Friday. Then it doesn't make sense. We have to store them there inside your long-term memory. Okay. So, and the most important part is also you need to be able to spell these words and understand their meanings. Now you will see all of them ends with shir. Okay, this one is chir. Okay, but the focus is the U-R-E at the back of the sentence. And some of them we studied in the courageous, adventurous, we studied them. Some of them we used in the suffix mint. So some of them will be quite easy for you to spell. So the words are measure, measure. Can you see? When two sounds are walking, the first one is doing the talking. Treasure. So you might get confused and think, okay, but now it's an E and an A, so how do I pronounce it? Treasure means the E is first in this combination, so I use the E to pronounce it, treasure. Two sounds are walking, the one is doing the talking. Pleasure. You go on the E again. Enclosure. Picture. Creature. Measure, treasure, pleasure, creature. Now you might ask, okay, but it's also EA, but we pronounce it a little bit different. Adventure, you had adventurous. Puncture, not a K, but a curly K. Mixture, when you made the brownies. Fracture, like fraction. Okay, now if you see those words, I'm going to give you a clue. When you do something because you really, really like to do it, and you do it for the fun and how it makes you feel when you do it, like playing games or doing something with your family, you do it for, which one do you guys think? Yes, you will do it for pleasure. Pleasure, to please yourself or somebody else, for pleasure. Okay, when we go on a journey and we go into a forest, for instance, in a different country, you might see all different animals that you normally haven't met, and then suddenly you see this funny thing, legs, body, all the body parts of an insect, but you haven't seen this one before. Which will that be? Yes, it's a creature. A creature, because it's created. Creature. Then sometimes when they catch animals, to put them in little camps so they don't get away and they are safe and being kept alive and being fed and really be cared for. We call that camp or that area where they are fenced in this word. Okay, yes, it's enclosure. It's closed up in a small area. Enclosure. We did capacity. We are doing capacity this week. We already did area and perimeter. We also did length. That's why I've got my meter stick over here. Now, we had to what? We didn't do it for pleasure. We're not in a little camp. We didn't. Okay, some of you drew aliens that look like creatures. Yes, we did measure. We had to measure using uh, measuring cup. We had to measure with a ruler. We had to count the blocks for area. So we measure. Okay, and when you go off with your friends on your bicycles and suddenly you see, but the tire is flat. So what might be wrong with my bicycle? Yes, it can have a puncture. Puncture, it means there's a hole in it and the air is escaping, so it's not keeping my tire from working. Okay. Then when you guys come to Friday, you are going to um, make a brownie in a mug. So you have to take certain measurements, measure. You're going to make it for pleasure, and you are going to make a mixture. There you go. And when you and your parents set out to visit a place that you haven't been to, you are going on a little adventure. Adventure is when you discover things that you haven't seen before. Now, I won't say going to the mall is an adventure, but if you go on a canoe on the lagoon, it might be an adventure. To go with a car in the desert is an adventure, or even visiting a new country is an adventure. All right. And when you get to that country, we're busy with all this traveling theme of ours, and we visit places. Although our mind is remembering all the places that um, we visit, we also need to take these to help us to remember the places. So what will that be? Yes, we will take a picture. And all the goodies that we find and all the small little shops that we visit, we are looking for this, something that will be very dear to you in later life. Yes, we're going to try to find treasure. Okay, not treasure is not always the pirates hiding gold and they finding treasure. Okay, uh, you are also a treasure for your parents. It means something that's very close to your heart, that means a lot to you. And the last one that we have left on our board is when you fall from your bicycle, but you don't break a leg or so. Um, it only has a little crack in it, and that is a fracture. A fracture. So we measure with a ruler and the measuring cups. We hope to find treasure when we dig up maybe the soil on the beach. It gives us pleasure to do stuff with mom and dad. They keep animals safe in an enclosure. We take pictures of all the things that we see, specifically of funny creatures that we only saw now for the first time when we went on an adventure. And hopefully our car won't get a puncture. And mom makes a mixture to make us some traveling food, patkos. And then we have to stay safe so we don't get a fracture or fall and break a bone. Okay, I think that sums it up. Have a nice day and practice hard for your spellings. Bye bye.